Dr. Maya Patel stood motionless in the Atacama large millimeter arrays control room, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display floating before her. The same anomaly had appeared again, another star vanishing without explanation. Not a supernova, not a collapse into a black hole, just silence. Complete silence where a stellar symphony should be playing. "That's the seventh one this month," her colleague Dr. Marcus Chen said quietly, his fingers dancing across the haptic interface as he pulled up the data from the previous disappearances. "And they're forming a pattern." Maya nodded, her throat tight. She'd noticed the pattern 3 disappearances ago, but hadn't wanted to voice her observation, as if speaking it might make it real. The vanishing stars formed an arrow, pointing directly at Earth. "Have you sent this to the other observatories?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. Marcus was nothing if not thorough. "Better. I sent it to the Quantum Array Network. They're detecting something we can't see with traditional telescopes." He hesitated, then added, "Maya, they're picking up echoes, like ripples in space-time itself, and they're carrying information." Maya's heart skipped a beat. The QAN was humanity's most advanced scientific achievement, a network of quantum sensors that could detect perturbations in the fabric of reality itself. If it was picking up signals, "Show me," she demanded, and Marcus complied, replacing the star map with a new set of data streams. The quantum echoes appeared as complex, interweaving patterns of light and dark, like a cosmic Morse code written in the language of reality itself. "It started 3 days ago," Marcus explained. "At first, we thought it was just background noise, but..." He was interrupted by a sudden shift in the pattern. The quantum echoes aligned, synchronized, and then, "Hello, children of Earth," a voice emerged from the station's speakers, unlike anything Maya had ever heard. It was somehow both ancient and immediate, tired and urgent. "We are the last survivors of the Helios Collective. We have failed to survive, but perhaps you still can." Maya and Marcus exchanged shocked glances. First contact, humanity's first confirmation of intelligent alien life, was happening in a quiet control room in the Chilean desert. "We were once like you," the message continued, "a civilization reaching for the stars. We had spread across 12 systems when they found us, the harvesters. They are patient, ancient. They wait for civilizations to reach a certain level of technological advancement, and then they feed, not on organic matter, but on technology itself, on knowledge, on progress." The voice paused, and Maya could almost feel the weight of eons in that silence. "We are the 7th civilization in this sector to fall. The stars you've seen vanishing, those were our last strongholds. This message rides the quantum wake of our final act of defiance. We've encoded everything we learned about them. Their patterns, their weaknesses, their hunting grounds. But most importantly, we've included the plans for something we never had time to build. A way to hide an entire civilization in plain sight." Maya's mind raced with implications. The pattern of disappearing stars hadn't been an arrow pointing at Earth. It had been a trail of destruction, and Earth lay directly in its path. "You have perhaps 5 of your Earth years before they reach you," the voice continued. 5 years to do what we could not, to prepare, to adapt, to survive. The plans we've sent you are incomplete. We never solved the final equations. But maybe you can. Maybe you can succeed where we failed." The message began to break up, quantum coherence failing. "Remember us. Remember that you're not alone in this fight. There are others out there, hiding, surviving. Find them, help them, and maybe together." The signal dissolved into quantum static, leaving the control room in silence. Maya was already moving, her fingers flying across her console. "Marcus, help me isolate the encoded data packets. We need to." "Dr. Patel," a new voice interrupted. Maya turned to find Director Sarah Jung standing in the doorway, flanked by 2 people in military uniforms. "The President is waiting to speak with you both. What you've discovered, what you've received, It changes everything. Maya looked back at the quantum data still streaming across her screen. 5 years to prepare humanity for a threat that had already destroyed 7 civilizations. 5 years to solve equations that an advanced alien race couldn't complete. 5 years to hide an entire planet in plain sight. She straightened her shoulders and nodded to the director. Humanity had faced extinction-level threats before, from its own nuclear weapons to climate change to asteroid impacts. Each time, they'd found a way to survive, to adapt, to overcome. This would be no different. As she followed the director out of the control room, Maya's mind was already working on the problem. The quantum data would need to be decoded, the alien mathematics translated into human frameworks. They would need to build new tools, develop new theories, push the boundaries of human knowledge further than ever before. But they would do it, because that's what humans did best: face the impossible and find a way through. "Director," she said as they walked, "we need to contact every major research institution on the planet, and we need to do it now. The harvesters aren't just coming for our technology or our knowledge. They're coming for everything we've built, everything we've learned, everything we are." She paused, considering her next words carefully. But they've never encountered humans before. And maybe, just maybe, that will be their biggest mistake. Behind them, the quantum echoes continued their cosmic dance, carrying the last testament of a fallen civilization and the seeds of humanity's greatest challenge. The stars might be going dark, but Earth's light wasn't ready to be extinguished. Not yet. Not ever. The underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains hummed with activity. 3 months had passed since the quantum message, and humanity had moved with unprecedented speed and unity. Dr. Maya Patel stood at the center of Project Starweaver's main laboratory, surrounded by holographic projections of quantum equations that seemed to dance in the air like cosmic fireflies. "The Helios Collective's mathematics is elegant," she remarked to Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the quantum computing specialist who'd been brought in from Tokyo. But they were thinking too linearly. They tried to bend light and energy around an entire civilization. "We need to think smaller." Yuki nodded, her fingers manipulating the 3-dimensional equations. "Instead of hiding everything at once, we create a cascade effect. Each piece of technology becomes its own quantum ghost, projecting false signals that make it appear primitive." The concept had come to Maya during a sleepless night, staring at rain droplets on her window. Each drop reflected the world differently, creating its own unique distortion. What if they could make every piece of human technology do the same thing with quantum signals? "Dr. Patel." Marcus Chen's voice cut through her thoughts. He rushed into the lab, tablet in hand. "The lunar quantum array just picked up something. You need to see this." The holographic displays shifted, showing new data from the moon-based sensors. Maya's breath caught in her throat. The quantum disturbances were stronger now, and they carried echoes of something else. "Those aren't just random fluctuations," Yuki whispered. "Those are fragments of technology signatures from other civilizations." Maya's mind raced. "They're not all dead. Some of them survived, hiding just like we're planning to do." The Helios Collective wasn't the first to think of this strategy. General Sarah Jung, who had been silently observing from the corner, stepped forward. "Can we contact them?" "Not yet," Maya replied. "But these signatures, they're like fingerprints. If we can decode them, maybe we can learn from how they're hiding." The next few weeks passed in a blur of breakthrough and setback. The international team grew as more brilliant minds were brought in. Dr. Anand Hassan from Cairo cracked the quantum encoding problem. Dr. Maria Rodriguez from Buenos Aires developed a new form of metamaterial that could shift its quantum signature on command. Each piece brought them closer to their goal. But time was running out. The star disappearances continued, drawing ever closer to Earth's sector of space. Maya stood before the United Earth Council, projected on screens around the world. "Project Starweaver isn't just about hiding," she explained. It's about deception on a cosmic scale. We're not going to try to make Earth disappear. We're going to make it look like we've barely discovered electricity." The council chamber erupted in murmurs. Maya continued, her voice steady. "The harvesters hunt technological civilizations, so we'll appear to be anything but that. Every computer, every power plant, every piece of advanced technology will project a quantum signature that makes it look like simple mechanical devices. To their sensors, Earth will appear to be in a pre-industrial state." "And our space presence?" asked the council president. "Our colonies on Mars and Luna?" "That's where it gets interesting," Maya smiled. "We're not going to hide them. We're going to move them. Not physically, but in terms of their quantum signature. When the harvesters look at Mars, they'll see a dead world. When they scan Luna, they'll detect nothing but rock. The quantum ghost network will make our colonies appear to be somewhere else entirely." Dr. Hassan stepped forward. "We've already successfully tested the technology on a small scale. A quantum-shielded computer appeared as a mechanical calculator to our sensors. A fusion reactor registered as a coal furnace." The council chambers fell silent as the implications sank in. They weren't just hiding. They were creating an elaborate illusion, a planetary-scale magic trick. "There's more," Maya added. "Those technological echoes we detected, they're not random. They're a pattern, a network. There are others out there, whole civilizations living in the quantum shadows. Once our network is operational, we might be able to contact them." The council president leaned forward. "How long until the system is ready?" "The core technology works," Maya replied. "We can begin implementing it immediately. Full planetary coverage will take 18 months. But we need to start now." The vote was unanimous. Project Starweaver would proceed at full speed, becoming the largest coordinated effort in human history. Every nation, every corporation, every research institution would play its part. As Maya left the council chamber, she felt a mix of hope and trepidation. They were betting humanity's survival on their ability to pull off the greatest disappearing act in history. But they had something the Helios Collective didn't. They had discovered they weren't alone in their resistance. Back in the Rocky Mountain facility, she stared at the quantum readings from distant stars. Somewhere out there, other civilizations were watching, waiting, hiding. And soon, humanity would join their hidden network of survivors. "We're coming," she whispered to the quantum echoes. "And we're bringing some new tricks to the game." Behind her, the facility hummed with activity as humanity prepared to vanish in plain sight, leaving behind a carefully crafted illusion of a primitive world, while secretly becoming more advanced than ever before. The greatest performance in human history was about to begin, and the entire galaxy was their stage. The Hong Kong skyline flickered in change. For a brief moment, the gleaming spires of one of Earth's most advanced cities appeared to transform into a collection of simple wooden structures and smoke-belching chimneys. Dr. Maya Patel watched from the observation platform as the quantum ghosting network cycled through another test sequence. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Dr. Yuki Tanaka said, monitoring the readings on her quantum tablet, which, to any outside observer, would appear as nothing more sophisticated than a wooden abacus. "The network is learning, adapting. Each test makes the illusion more convincing." 2 years had passed since Project Starweaver began, and humanity had surpassed even their most optimistic projections. The quantum ghosting technology had evolved far beyond its original concept, becoming something that bordered on technological artistry. "Status report from Luna Colony." Marcus Chen's voice came through their quantum-shielded comms. "The Lunar Shadow Protocol is fully operational. To any external observers, the moon now appears completely uninhabited. Our mining operations and research facilities are projecting as natural geological formations." Maya allowed herself a small smile. They were ahead of schedule, but the latest stellar observations suggested they needed to be. The harvester's path of destruction had accelerated. "Dr. Patel," General Zheng's voice cut in, "we're picking up something unusual in the quantum background noise." multiple signatures, approaching in a pattern we haven't seen before. Maya's heart raced as she pulled up the data. The quantum echoes were unlike anything they detected before, more structured, more deliberate. And they were coming from 3 different directions simultaneously. "Those aren't harvester signals," she breathed. "Those are contact attempts. The other hidden civilizations. They've noticed our quantum ghosting network." The next few hours were a blur of activity as Maya and her team worked to decode the incoming signals. What they found exceeded their wildest hopes. "They're calling themselves the Shadow Concordat," Maya explained to the hastily assembled United Earth Council. 17 different civilizations, all survivors of harvester attacks, all living in the quantum shadows. They've been watching us, evaluating our deception technologies, and now they want to talk. The council chamber erupted in excited murmurs. President Chen raised her hand for silence. "Can we trust them? Their quantum signatures match the echoes we detected months ago," Dr. Hassan confirmed. "And their technical specifications, they're genuine. Each civilization has developed their own unique approach to quantum concealment. Some have been hiding for millions of years." "What do they want?" the Russian representative asked. Maya took a deep breath. "They want to share knowledge. And more importantly, they think our approach to quantum ghosting might be the key to something bigger. We're not just hiding better than previous civilizations, we're hiding differently. Our technology allows us to maintain technological progress while appearing primitive. Most of them had to actually regress to survive." The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't just developed a way to hide. They'd created a method to advance while appearing to move backward. The next few weeks saw a flurry of quantum communications as Earth established contact with the Shadow Concordat. Each civilization shared their stories, their technologies, their methods of survival. But it was Earth's quantum ghosting network that captured their attention. "We've completed the Jakarta test," Yuki reported one evening. The entire city had just performed a scheduled ghost shift, its quantum signature temporarily revealing its true nature to allow for system maintenance. "The network is now operating at 98% efficiency. To any outside observer, Earth appears to be in a pre-industrial state, while we continue to advance our technology behind the quantum veil." Maya nodded, but her attention was on a new set of quantum equations scrolling across her screen. The Shadow Concordat had shared something remarkable. Theoretical work suggesting that quantum ghosting technology, if developed further, might be capable of more than just hiding. "Look at this," she called to Yuki. "If we combine our quantum ghosting principles with the Concordat's long-term stability matrices, we might be able to do more than just hide from the harvesters. We might be able to actively manipulate how they perceive space itself." "You mean we could make them see what we want them to see?" Yuki asked, her eyes widening as she grasped the implications. "Exactly. Instead of just appearing primitive, we could make them see entire star systems where there are none, or hide real systems behind veils of quantum illusion. We could rewrite the map of the galaxy from their perspective." The concept was audacious, but it represented something humanity had been quietly building toward since the project began. They weren't just trying to survive, they were preparing to fight back. As Maya looked out over the Hong Kong skyline, watching it shift between its true form and its quantum ghost image, she felt a surge of pride. Humanity had taken a warning of extinction and turned it into an opportunity for revolution. They had not only learned to hide but had begun to master the art of cosmic deception itself. The harvesters were still coming, but they would find a very different Earth than they expected. An Earth that had learned to dance in the quantum shadows and was teaching others to dance along with them. The Great Deception was more than just a survival strategy now. It was becoming the foundation of a hidden resistance that would reshape the galaxy itself. The quantum conference chamber deep beneath the Rocky Mountains was empty of physical attendees, yet it hummed with the presence of beings from across the galaxy. Maya stood at the center, surrounded by quantum-projected representatives of the Shadow Concordat. Each appeared as a shifting pattern of light, their true forms hidden behind layers of quantum encryption. The harvesters have changed course, the representative of the Nexus Collective announced, their quantum signature pulsing with urgency. They're no longer following their traditional hunting patterns. Something has made them curious. Maya exchanged glances with Yuki and Marcus. They had anticipated this possibility, but not so soon. "They've detected the quantum ghost network?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. "Not exactly," replied the ancient consciousness that called itself the Archive. "They've noticed the absence of expected signals. Your deception is perfect, too perfect. Where they expected to find a developing civilization's quantum noise, they find only primitive emissions. It's the silence that draws their attention." The implications hit Maya like a physical force. Their very success in hiding had made Earth conspicuous. The perfect absence of technological signatures was itself a pattern that the harvesters had learned to recognize. "Then we moved to Phase 2, Maya declared. The quantum projections stirred, their patterns shifting with interest. Phase 2 had been humanity's contribution to the Shadow Concordat strategies, an evolution from passive hiding to active deception. Dr. Hassan stepped forward, his quantum tablet projecting new schematics into the shared space. "The quantum ghost network isn't just hiding our technology anymore. We're using it to create false signatures, echoes of technological development that lead away from Earth. The harvesters aren't just seeing nothing. They're seeing exactly what we want them to see." The representative of the crystal mines, a silicon-based consciousness that had hidden in asteroid belts for millions of years, pulsed with approval. "You're creating a false trail. But where does it lead?" Maya smiled. "Everywhere. And nowhere." She gestured, and the chamber filled with a map of nearby space. Dozens of quantum signatures bloomed like false stars, each one a carefully crafted deception. "We're not just hiding one civilization anymore. We're simulating hundreds of them, all at different stages of development, all moving along different vectors. The quantum ghost network has evolved," Yuki explained. "It's not just a shield. It's become a galactic-scale chaff deployment system. The harvesters won't find silence anymore. They'll find too many signals to track." The chamber erupted in a cascade of quantum pulses as the representatives communicated among themselves. What humanity proposed was more than deception. It was a fundamental change in how the hidden civilizations approached survival. "There's more," Maya continued. "The false signatures aren't just decoys. They're communication channels. Each fake civilization we're projecting can serve as a secure quantum link between real hidden worlds. We're not just building a hiding place. We're building a hidden internet that spans the galaxy." The Archive's quantum signature pulsed with what Maya had learned to recognize as excitement. "You're using the harvesters' own hunting patterns against them. The very signals they search for become the backbone of our hidden network." Marcus stepped forward, adding his own data to the projection. "We've already begun implementation. The quantum ghost network now extends throughout the Sol system. Each false signature acts as a node in the network, allowing instant communication between hidden civilizations, while appearing to the harvesters as nothing more than primitive technological development." The representative of the Nexus Collective shifted their pattern in what had become a familiar gesture of agreement. "This changes everything. We've spent millions of years hiding in isolation, each civilization alone in the dark. But this network, it allows us to coordinate, to share knowledge, to build something new. We call it the Shadow Net," Maya said. "A quantum-encrypted communication system hidden in plain sight, disguised as exactly what the harvesters are looking for. Every false signal we create strengthens our ability to communicate and coordinate." The chamber fell silent as the implications stank in. Humanity hadn't just found a new way to hide. They had found a way to unite the hidden civilizations of the galaxy. "There's one more thing," Maya added, her voice firm. "We've been analyzing the quantum signatures of the harvesters themselves. Every time they destroy a civilization, they leave behind traces in the quantum foam. We've been collecting these traces, studying them. And we found patterns, weaknesses in their own quantum structure. The chamber stirred again, this time with a mixture of hope and fear. No civilization had ever suggested studying the harvesters themselves. They had been seen as an unstoppable force of nature, something to hide from but never to understand. "We're not just building a network to hide," Maya declared. "We're building a network to fight back. Every false signal we create, every quantum ghost we project, brings us closer to understanding their technology. And once we understand it," she let the thought hang in the quantum space, "the representatives of 17 hidden civilizations, some older than Earth's oceans, all focused on this young species that had taken their fear of extinction and turned it into a tool for revolution." The shadow net was more than a hiding place. It was humanity's gift to the galaxy's survivors, a way to end their isolation, to unite their knowledge, and perhaps, finally, to stand against the darkness that had hunted them for so long. As the quantum conference dissolved, Maya looked at the false signatures blooming across space like digital stars. Somewhere out there, the harvesters were following their false trails, hunting shadows while the real revolution grew stronger in the darkness they created. The game of hide and seek was about to become something else entirely, and humanity had just changed all the rules. Deep in the quantum shadows of the Oort cloud, humanity made its final preparations. 5 years of hiding, learning, and building had led to this moment. Dr. Maya Patel stood at her station aboard the quantum-cloaked vessel Prometheus, watching as the harvester fleet approached their solar system. "All ShadowNet nodes are operational," Marcus reported from his station. "Every false signal is broadcasting at full strength. The Concordat confirms ready status across all sectors." The plan they developed was audacious, combining the accumulated knowledge of 18 hidden civilizations with humanity's innovative approach to quantum mechanics. The harvesters weren't just following their false trails. They were being herded. "Signal strength is holding," Yuki confirmed, her fingers dancing across quantum-shielded controls. "They're seeing exactly what we want them to see. A dozen promising civilizations, all reaching the technological threshold simultaneously." Maya nodded, her throat tight. The harvesters had never encountered such a target-rich environment. Their usual hunting patterns had been disrupted by the sheer number of apparent civilizations reaching harvestable status at once. "The archive reports their fleet is splitting up," Dr. Hassan announced. "They're taking the bait." On the main display, the harvester fleet divided into smaller groups, each moving to investigate a different false signal. Their quantum signatures pulsed with what Maya had learned to recognize as anticipation. They thought they had found an unprecedented feast of technological civilizations. Instead, they had walked into humanity's trap. "All units, execute Protocol Prometheus," Maya commanded. Across the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters activated simultaneously. Each false civilization they had created suddenly began broadcasting on a very specific frequency, one that matched the harvester's own quantum architecture. The effect was immediate. The harvester ships stuttered in space, their quantum signatures fluctuating wildly. The ShadowNet had allowed humanity to study the harvester's technology in unprecedented detail, revealing a crucial weakness. Their ability to consume technology relied on quantum resonance, allowing them to break down and absorb advanced systems. But that same quantum link could be turned against them. "Phase 2, Maya ordered. Yuki initiated the sequence they had prepared. The false civilizations didn't just broadcast. They began to change. The quantum ghost network transformed from a passive deception into an active weapon. "The crystal mines report success in Sector 7, Marcus called out. "Their ships are beginning to destabilize." Maya watched as the carefully crafted trap closed around the ancient predators. Each false signal acted like a quantum virus, disrupting the very technology that made the harvesters so formidable. They had turned their greatest strength, their ability to consume and adapt to new technology, into a fatal weakness. "We're detecting quantum cascade failures across their fleet," Dr. Hassan reported. "The ShadowNet is working exactly as predicted. Their ships can't maintain quantum coherence under this level of disruption. But the harvesters weren't finished. Even as their ships began to fail, they launched a desperate counterattack. Quantum-seeking weapons lashed out, trying to find the source of the attack. "They're adapting faster than we anticipated," Yuki warned. "The quantum disruption pattern isn't holding in sectors 3 and 4. Maya had expected this. The harvesters had survived for millions of years by being adaptable. But humanity had planned for this too. "Execute final protocol," she commanded. Across the shadow net, hidden civilizations activated their quantum transmitters at full power. The false signals they had created didn't just disrupt. They began to rewrite the quantum structure of space itself around the harvester fleet. The Nexus Collective reports successful quantum lock in their sector, Marcus announced. The Archive confirms the same. The harvester's ships are being sealed in closed quantum loops. On the main display, Maya watched as ship after ship of the ancient Predator fleet became trapped in self-sustaining quantum fields. They couldn't escape because the very space around them had been rewritten at the quantum level. Their technology, designed to break down and consume other systems, was now consuming itself in an endless cycle. "Final status report," Maya called out. 87% of the harvester fleet is neutralized," Yuki reported. "The remaining ships are retreating, but their quantum signatures are critically destabilized. They won't be able to maintain cohesion beyond the Kuiper belt." A cheer went up across the bridge of the Prometheus. But Maya wasn't finished. She opened a channel to the shadow net. "To all hidden civilizations," she broadcast. "The immediate threat is contained, but our work isn't done. The quantum ghost network proved we could hide. The shadow net proved we could unite. Now it's time to prove we can build something new." The quantum signatures of 17 ancient civilizations pulsed in agreement. The network they had built to hide from the harvesters would now become something else, a foundation for a new kind of galactic civilization, one built on cooperation and innovation rather than predation and fear. "The quantum barriers are holding," Dr. Hassan confirmed. "The harvesters trapped in the loops are completely contained. We can study them now, understand their technology fully, maybe even find a way to communicate with them, to understand why they became what they are." Maya nodded. Humanity's solution hadn't just been about destruction. It had been about transformation. They had turned a weapon into a trap into a prison, and now they would turn that prison into a laboratory. "Send word through the shadow net," she ordered. "Tell them it's time to step out of the quantum shadows. But we do it carefully, together. We build something that ensures no species ever needs to hide again." As the quantum echoes of victory rippled through the galaxy, Maya thought about how far they had come. 5 years ago, they had received a warning about humanity's extinction. Instead, they had sparked a revolution, uniting the hidden civilizations of the galaxy and breaking a cycle of predation that had lasted for millions of years. The stars would no longer go dark. Instead, they would shine brighter than ever, illuminating a new age of cooperation and discovery. Humanity had done more than survive. They had changed the rules of survival itself. And somewhere in the quantum shadows, the next chapter of galactic history was already beginning to unfold.